Good evening. How are we all? I'm just checking we are live. There we go. We'll close that down. I hope you're all well and have had a lovely day. I'm sure lots of you are very happy as it is Good Friday tomorrow, which means you won't be at work. So you get an extra long weekend, which should be very nice. Dell's off. Hayden's just gone to Connor's. So we've got no particular plans for the weekend. I think it's just going to be a bit of a chill weekend, get a few jobs done. I managed to get all my bedding plants potted up today. My milkman delivered those the other day. And after my live this afternoon, I went out just to go out and have a cup of tea and ended up potting all those up. So yeah, it was a nice afternoon, but now I'm absolutely freezing. I had my dress on, put my cardigan on, then I put some socks on, then I ended up putting a pair of lounging trousers on underneath. I've sat in my throw over me, I've put the heating on, and I'm just got my cup of tea to try and keep me warm. Oh yeah, it's very chilly. So anyway, do pop on and say hello if you're joining live. If not, hashtag replay. I do like to read all your comments. Now, I do need to apologise for the state of my nails and my fingers. They're atrocious. But if you've watched my live earlier, you'll see that we were playing with inks and getting messy. And yeah, I was in a mess. And I've scrubbed them and washed them numerous times. But it's mainly shaded spruce and blackberry bliss that I've got all over my fingers and my nails. So I do apologise for that. If we just turn the camera face down, yeah, as you can see, they're quite terrible. But we had some fun. We were just making our own backgrounds up, and then made some cards with them and used the along these line stamp set, and then we just did a bit of heat embossing on that using the layered thoughts, and then that was my final one that I haven't made up yet. But yeah, that was the culprit. It was that one's fault that I ended up filthy. But yeah, we had great fun. So this evening, it's a scrapbook page, and I was like, what am I going to do? I really didn't want to get messy again. So I thought, actually, I've still got quite a lot. In fact, yeah, I have got lots. Why is getting in the way? Of the Scenic Route travel journal kit left. This kit's currently on offer. It's in the Wild Stocks last chance list. But I used some of it to create this page. A few weeks back, I created this one, and I thought, you know what, I'll do a partner page for it. So that's what we're going to do. So I've got what's left of the kit here. And like I say, I've still got the actual journal itself with its pages in. So I can still use that when I'm ready for whatever I fancy doing with that. And then we still have all of these stickers. And more stickers. That's upside down, isn't it? And my camera keeps freezing for some reason. It might be because Dell's on the internet as well. So you got lots of stickers and letters, numbers, symbols, and those ones as well. And these are also some stickers. We used a couple from that sheet. And lots of little pieces and journaling pieces and tags and whatever. So yeah, and I've got some pockets. So we'll use a pocket on this one this evening. I don't tend to want to use the letters and numbers, so we'll put those at the bottom of the pile, and these bits will be for after, for decorating. We'll pop those there, and then we'll keep all these to hand, so I'll probably use quite a few of those, I would have thought, during the process. But I do want to use a pocket on this one, and I'm going to use this one. This is the, in fact no, I'm not, I'm trying to think now. Of course my photo mats are going to be early espresso. These aren't cut to size to match in with my photo mats and my other one. Now I'm going to use one in a pocket, so I don't want it that colour. So I think we'll use this one that I think is like basic beige with a bit of wild wheat. We'll just fold. There's already score lines in this, so we'll fold and burnish this so we know where we're going with that. That's just a simple pocket. I've got that ready to use. Okay. Right, now I'm going to cut these down, and this page is going to be for 3 4x3s. So I want to cut at 3 1/8. Did I better check if I did 1/8 or 1/4 on here. 1/4. Good job I checked. So we'll have 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Sometimes I do 1/4 bigger to have a slightly bigger border around, or sometimes I do 1/8. I'm going to cut all 3 of these down to 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, and then it'll be one of these that will pop in our pocket. There we go, the last one. That's it. We'll keep those pieces, they'll go in my scrapbook. So that's what our photos will be matted onto. One's going to go in the pocket, and the other 2, whoops, are going to be on our page. So I've got my 12 by 12 page. I think that is going to be my basic design layout for my photos. So then it's a matter of putting things on around that, but I want it to be similar to this. So we've got a piece of the petal pink, so I need to grab a piece of petal pink to bring that in. Somewhere up here in my bits and bobs of my two-tone, I have some petal pink. Let's just see if we have a strip rather than, oh, there we go. I bet it's thinner. No, it's it's about 1/8 of an inch thinner, but that's okay. That'll be fine. So that one went through the middle, or just, and I am going to do this one the same. Sometimes I turn them on their end, but I'm going to keep it so that that's a continual across the page. So I'm going to bring that page next to it, and then I'll be able to line it up to make sure that I've got it at the same height. And I'm going to use the lighter side of the two-tone cardstock, and then I'll just have some glue at the ends and then a squiggle down. Like I say, it is a tiny bit narrower, but that's okay. We'll go with it. It's not going to make a whole big difference. There we go. That's on there. Now I'm going to do a similar with the stripes as well. They will be slightly different because I've used those ones. We'll bring in our sticker stripes. And I'm going to do a Calypso coral there, the same, but again it's a different stripe, but it's following the same layout. And then we want, I think it's Lost Lagoon, isn't it, in this? Let me check. The colours are in here. Yep, Lost Lagoon. So I'm going to have that one there, like so. So that echoes on there. Right. So then the rest will just be as we want it. I just wanted to echo those pieces because it'll all be different depending on what we've got here. I'm going to have perhaps one like that. I'll have that one something like that. Lift that up so that's equal there. Okay. So it'll go somewhere like that. Bring that down a bit. Alright. I'm going to bring in our other pieces here. On my other one I had a wild week there, but that's, yeah, we can do that again. I can go on there. And we did have a piece of early espresso here, but I had white coming down, so I'm going to leave that like that because we've already got the early espresso. And I'm going to do something on here, another journaling piece. Now that's the same as, but a different colour as our last one. I'm not sure I want it the same. See what else we've got. We've got these long which that would look quite good on there. I think I want to bring this in actually down here. I might end up putting that way up and having everything that way instead. Knees across. So it's only got a bit of journaling for this one, but that's okay. We don't have to have lots. So I think I'm quite happy so far with how that is, and then we can add other bits in. I don't want that to end level. So that's got to come somewhere down there. Right, let's stick these on. Now I am just going to glue in the middle so that I can lift the edges and pop things under the edges. That's okay. And this one. Now I had no intention when I created my first page with this of doing another page to go with it. So I didn't leave anything to coordinate particularly or think about it having a coordinating page. Pop that there. And sometimes I find that pages work out better that way when you haven't thought about it too much. I do like creating my pages separate. Without my photos. I think sometimes if you do it with photos, it's quite distracting, for want of a better word. I think I'm going to have what on the other one. I've got a piece that sticks out, but I want some pinky. I don't know where it's come from because I seem to have every piece. Oh, yeah, I do. It's that I've cut down. So I'm going to do that because I'd like it there, but I don't want it anywhere near that big. Just want a piece to stick out from there. So we'll trim this piece down. There we go. And then we can add that under there. There we go. Pop that on there. Line it up using the lines that are on the piece of paper because that's got a grid on it. And then we've got tags that we could use if we wanted a tag on here. What have we got on here? Let's have a quick look at these. I think this will be a nice arrow to pop on. And it's just layering it up, like adding lots of layers and overlapping. Alright, so let's now add, and I'm going to use this My Travel Journal. I know it's not exactly my travel journal, but I like the look of that to go there. And we'll add some of these, leaves on here. I'm just echoing what I did on my other one. It's not exactly the same. We've got a blue, small blue one that we can just pop in there. That's the cat having a shake. bring in our little pieces that we've got. I'm going to pop some on here, and it's going to be today's highlights. Today's highlights there, and then we'll have a bit of a having so much fun in here. I love having stickers, it makes it so easy. And I think we will pop one of these on, this little marker, like a map marker in there. I fancy a little camera. Oh, not got a small camera. Oh, another sheet here. I've not got a small camera, but we've got a little car we could pop on. Pop him in there, and then down here we can have a suitcase for our travels, and then we could pop heart on here, and then I want some of these little bits about, just to highlight some of this. So we've got stars and hearts and different bits that I use just like ephemera, just like yeah, embellishments. I'll get the word eventually. And then have we got one more heart that's a different colour? No, haven't got another blue heart, have we? Or a wild wheat. Okay, that's all right. We can stick with what we have. There we go. I'm going to have that one there as well to brighten that up. Okay, so is there anything else we think we need on here? I'm not actually sure there is. Love that signpost. I will use that on something, not today though. A lot of these are quite large images, and I don't want anything too large than that. So we can have just a couple more of these little stickers. We've got my top 5, all the details, the inside story, the plan, enjoy the view, don't forget, so yummy, best ever. Not sure fit. Fancied something here, but I'm not sure that'll fit. What we can do is put the plan, and we'll have it overhanging. So I'm going to take the sticky off it, and what I'm going to use is my embossing buddy, and just tap that over that one edge, and that just takes the sticky off that edge. and we can then pop the rest down, and that means we can then stick our photograph underneath it, and then we can glue it down after if we want to. Stick, thank you. I like that. I feel that's better. Just looking on the screen, to be quite honest, I think it's looking almost done, if not done. Yeah, can't see anything else really. See, I like that Just Loving Life in blue, but that's another blue. I don't want to use another blue, so I'll save that for another day. Yeah, I think that is going to be all we have on there. So that was a really quick page to do. Sorry about that, that's my phone because I forgot to put it on silent. Alright, let's bring in our other page and we can see how we think they fit side by side. Can't see on screen properly, can you? But yeah, so we've got our two photos and our journal there, and then on this page we've got two smaller photos there. One we can have in the pocket, and then we've got a little bit of journaling on there. And we've carried the theme through with our stripes, so it's a bit of a continuity for those, and our blocks here. I've done that on there as well. A little bit, you can't see, a little bit sticking under there, which we've got on there, very similar. So yeah, there we go. A really quick page, but it just goes to show you don't have to use the kits as they come. You can cut them up and use them for different things. As you saw, I've still got lots of products left in that kit, so I could still use the kit with those as it's intended if I wanted to. But I think I'm going to use it totally different and take it totally apart. I think use the actual journal as a journal. I might take these pages out and use those to create some different pages, or for some different things. Might use those to make some cards. Yeah, we'll see. I've got a pocket in there. Yeah, lots and lots you can do with that. And as I say, these are currently on offer. Makes a fabulous journal if you are travelling to take. The instructions that you get in the kit make it a really good little project to do as you go along. But yeah, as I say, I like to change things up a bit and use things a bit differently. Right, so let's swap cameras back to me. It's getting a bit dark, so my face looks a bit stark off my light. Oh my gosh, that went with a bonk. New light, a bit stiff. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me. This will be uploaded onto YouTube. If you have any questions or comments, please pop them in the chat. And I will see you all again next Thursday at 1 o'clock for my normal live, and then 7:30 for scrapbooking. So have a lovely Easter weekend. I'm sure I'll pop on at some point over the weekend, and I shall catch you all next week. Thanks very much. Bye.